What's up, bro?
We're back.
We're here.
We got, we're still in our temporary.
Tiny studio.
We're in our temporary studio.
Yeah. But there is good news. The heat is on today, which it was not on last week. I had a heater right next to me today. The heat is on. So that's progress.
Is on. Only in half our building.
Only half the building.
The other half of the building, frigid tundra.
And then I plugged in the heater, like a little space heater in my office. And then they told me that when I did that and I plugged in my computer, I blew a fuse.
Yeah, why are you blowing up the world? Hey, I just got back from Nebraska.
Hey, that's
Shout
a
out
place.
to Nebraska. We got a lot of new tug of war team up in Nebraska.
I've never been there.
Dude, it's cold as a mug.
Y'all sent me a picture of a frozen over river.
Yeah, it's so cold the water stopped flowing.
I'm like, oh, no way. I don't want to go there ever.
Nebraska's little.
It is?
I mean, it's not Texas.
Yeah, well, nothing is Texas.
It's not Texas.
Yeah. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. We went to a leadership, Easton and I went, and we went to a leaders training. Oh, yeah, I taught.
Yeah.
I was straight preaching a lot.
Fun.
So many microphones in my face.
Hey, that's good.
But it was good.
That's fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, and now we're here, and we get to talk about something exciting today.
Yeah, so I talked with all the leaders there in Nebraska about all kind of stuff. You know, we're pastors.
Yep.
And so our context of leadership is ministry.
That's true.
Volunteers.
Yep. Leading teams, leading people.
Big groups of people come together. So we face some unique challenges, but it's still an organization that we're leading. And so
I lead it like a business too.
Yeah. So it was amazing to go and talk with all these other pastors, because there were guys there that had 1,000 people in their church, and then there were guys that had 9.
Yeah.
Nine people in the church, and they've been faithfully there, loving those people for a decade.
Yeah.
There was a guy that was there. He had been in a city that only has 1,900 population, but it's like giant landmass.
Yeah.
And everybody there is like a cow farmer. And I'm like, you really got to love God.
No, right.
Like, real talk.
You're probably driving like 60 minutes to go to the grocery store.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I can be in Fort Worth in 15 minutes and eating the best burger you've ever tasted. I can be there in 15 minutes. Out there, the only fast food you got is the gas station microwave.
I don't know if that's like, they talk about mission field. I'm like, that's a mission field.
I think they love God more than us.
I think for sure they do. You think they probably have a bigger house in heaven too.
Oh, all day. You know, missionaries love God more than we do.
Oh, well, yeah. I already knew that, but I didn't know people in Nebraska did. But yep.
Missionaries and people in Nebraska about to get to heaven, and God's going to be like, here's your Escalade.
I got you. Yeah. I got you this and an extra upgrade.
7-story mansion.
Yeah. No. Hey, well, good. What was the biggest takeaway that you took from that of like tugging into more? What was something that you were like, ooh, yeah.
Man, lots. I talked to a guy who has been a pastor at a church for a lot of years, and he came up to East and 9. He said, man, our church is exploding. God's doing so many great things. I'm so excited. He said the last Sunday we had 45 people.
Wow. Yeah.
And like his enthusiasm for something that is small was really motivating.
Yeah.
Because like we can get kind of bougie on what we're living off of.
Right.
Like off of our, like the leadership, the things that we've already developed. And we can start to look at it like it's little. But like this guy was so excited, man.
Yeah.
That he has 45 people, that he grew it from like 9 over the last 10 years.
No, I love that.
And so it was motivating.
Yeah, because the whole point of Tug of War is that there is a giant tension and giant space between where we are and where we feel called to be. And the truth is, what we've learned over the last years, we have to celebrate the wins of when we do get to step into more, because guess what? There's always more.
There's always more,
but we got to celebrate where we are because we were back there. And so I love that. I love the energy of being around other people that motivate you into more, which is the whole point of this. Is that together, collectively, we can come together and say, hey, let's go into more together. All of our more looks different, but we're all stepping into it together, and I love that.
Yeah, because we live in different cities, we have different contexts. Like in Dallas, you can reach a lot more people, have a lot more, even if you're a business, customers in Dallas than you can in the middle of nowhere. And so creating proper goals. Okay, so I taught all kind of stuff. Talk about guard your heart. That's one of our favorites.
Emotional health stuff.
Emotional
you did
health.
A lot of that, yeah.
Talked about God doesn't have T-Rex arms, right? Talked about some of those things. And then just did a lot of like how to break growth lids.
Yeah.
But at the end of the conference, one of the things I talked about was the importance of application.
Yeah.
Like, don't just sit here and learn about it, but be about it.
Right.
Don't just take notes, but implement it.
Right.
And it reminded me of something we tell our team all the time.
Yeah.
We say ideas are garbage.
Yes.
But execution is everything.
Right.
Ideas.
Yeah.
Ideas.
Everybody's got an idea.
Dude, everybody's got an idea. I could list off 50 sermon series ideas right now.
Yeah.
Events,
Yeah.
plans,
Right.
websites, potential businesses.
Anything. Right.
Everybody's got an
Yeah.
idea, but like executing on that idea.
How many times in a day do we hear somebody say, you know what you should do?
Yeah.
People always have an idea of what we should do and
Pastor,
how we should do it.
You know what you should do? I had a lady come up to me and she said, Pastor, you know what we should do when we bought the 36 acres? You know what we should do? Is we should put up a big fence around it and we should make a dog rescue center.
Yes.
And I'm like, yep, that's a thing we could do.
That's a thing we could do.
That's an idea.
Right.
But I'm like, ideas are garbage. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about no dog rescue
Right.
village.
Right.
But we have to be executing on the ideas that we have.
Yeah, I like to say ideas are crap just because to me in my head.
That's what we call a Christian curse word.
Yeah, it's a Christian curse word because.
Whitney, you be using some worldly curse words every once in a
but
while
not
too.
on the podcast most of the time.
We gotta bleep them and cut them.
Hey, whatever. And so
Whatever.
Just keep going. Just keep rolling. No, but I like it in my head. It helps me understand that like if all I do is come up with an idea but never actually do anything about it, it literally is as worthy as being flushed down the toilet. Like it is not helpful to where we're trying to go to sit and come up with a bunch of ideas. There's something we've talked about even in the podcast before is I'm about to do the things I'm about to do, the things I'm about to get to. And it's like, okay, cool. I understand you've got a lot of thoughts, but what are you actually doing about it? And so for us, we've learned in stepping into more, the only way to get to more is actually start executing.
Yes.
That perfection, so many of us wait for the perfection or the perfected idea. We got to get our idea all organized. And we'll talk about the steps I think is what we should, right? Do.
Yeah.
But if we don't actually get anything done, at the end of the day, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know if we talked about it on one of our most recent podcasts that the Bible says if you wait for perfect conditions, you'll never get anything done.
Yeah.
And it kind of talks about the farmer, like if the farmer walks outside and he goes, it's kind of windy today, I'm not going to work. It's kind of rainy today, I'm not going to work.
Right.
It's kind of cool. Like, no, man, sometimes you just have to make progress.
That's
you just
what
have to
I do when I'm supposed to go to the gym.
Oh,
I
you
can
do?
come up with a reason every day of why I can't go. Because,
well, you know how you fix that?
What?
Get a person to meet you there.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. That's
I went to
true.
the gym this morning, did not want to go. I'm eating keto, so I don't got no carbs in my body. But I know I'm eating two guys at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And so I drug my body out of bed.
And then you went. Right. Yeah. No, it's true. And so I think and the same is true in life, what you're saying. We have to I understand that. We may not have perfect conditions in our business. For us, we don't ever really have perfect conditions in the church that we lead.
Yeah.
There's always something popping off.
Yeah.
But we got to get junk done.
I'm about to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it. I'm about to start a class. I'm about to add a service. And I think that sometimes we, as leaders, we get high on our own supply.
Right.
Like we get excited about talking about what maybe we're going to do.
Right. Or like we get in a room and we flex the ideas that we have to see if our ideas are cooler or better than somebody else's, instead of like, there's a bunch of ideas out there. You can Google anything to come up with an idea, but get it done. Yeah,
I think that it's worth like picking the idea, picking the most important thing of the season for your advancement and saying, okay, I'm going to conquer this. I'm going to accomplish this. I'm going to execute on it.
Execute. Yeah. No, my job title is executive pastor. And I think in a lot of churches, there's like a visionary and then an executor.
Yeah.
What's unique about our team and our dynamic is that for us, we all got vision and we all got ability to get junk done.
Yeah.
And so for our team, it's not like, oh, that's their job. They're the one who gets it done. No, we all get it done.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to put that sign in our future office space because you're like, we have to understand in order to be a part of this team, we all have to get junk done.
Well, I want to hang it up in the office because when we walk in on Monday morning to work, I want us to remember that we're not just going to our office or our computer to think about what maybe would be a good idea.
Right.
But is to actually execute
Yeah.
what we're already, right? Like if we have an event coming up, let's not just spend 10 hours dreaming about new photo booth ideas and how we can have another dunk tank. Let's not just dream about it.
Right.
But like, let's pull off what we've already dreamt of.
Right. The things that we've already done. Put it down on paper and then get to work. So what are the steps? We've talked about it before. What are the steps you think in order to do that?
I think first you got to have a plan.
Right.
You have to have a plan of how you're going to execute. Then you have to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You plan, then you prepare.
Right.
And I forgot the last P.
And then you perform.
Oh yeah. Then you perform.
And then you get junk done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a great thing to walk through in the steps, because it sounds really good on paper, and they're all 3 P's. And so, but the truth is, if you can do those 3 things in life, you're going to get to more.
Yeah.
Like if you can figure out how to actually efficiently and effectively plan, prepare, and perform, then the sky's the limit of what you can do in life. And sometimes we get overwhelmed. We talked last time about like the chaos.
Yeah.
We get overwhelmed in the chaos or the people drama or the lack or whatever it is. It's like, no. It's real simple. Let's just get a plan. Let's start preparing. Let's get it done.
It's easy to get stuck in the planning phase.
Oh, for sure.
And so like, let's break that down, because ideas are garbage. And sometimes like planning is a part of the idea.
Absolutely.
And we can spend so much time trying to create the perfect plan that it's like, no, man, thrust your hands in the thing and get to work.
Something we do for our team is we say we can dream like there's an unlimited budget.
Dream like you have all the money, time, and volunteers in the world.
Right. And so we will do that for a short amount of time. Okay, guys, let's take the next 30 minutes. If we could do anything for XYZ, this event, this thing that's coming up, this ministry, this area, this department, what would it look like? Throw it up on the board. But then we have to take that and go, okay, now what can we actually do and build the actual plan? Yeah.
Okay. So you plan it, you write it down, A to B. You got to start where you are, and then what do you want the goal?
Right.
Like what's the win?
Right. What's the win? What's the like? What is it? Target that I'm hitting for? Yeah.
And then you start preparing.
Right.
It's time to prepare. So like you start assembling the things that you need. So like right now, we had our first youth service here at the building, and it was great.
Yeah.
Kids showed up with markers, and like they wrote Bible verses and like their future girlfriend's name on the floor or whatever they wrote down on the floor, Then we're having a youth service again this Wednesday.
Yeah.
And one of the things we have to do is unload a semi-truck trailer full of chairs.
Right.
So we just met with some of our staff to figure out that out.
Yeah.
And so the plan is, get all the junk out of the trailer
to get the chairs.
But here's the preparation.
Right.
Is they have a list of guys that they're calling today.
Yeah.
To recruit.
Right.
We have to start preparing.
Right.
Do we have the dollies?
Yeah.
Is the floor cleaned? Do we have 6 dudes that can able body or girls? Come on, women in ministry, y'all can move some chairs too.
No, we
and
can.
So can we unload? We have to prepare.
Yeah. No, I love this. So going back to plan, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. That's a phrase that we've all heard, but it's true. So often we jump into the performing before taking the steps to like write it out. Something you're great at is the to-do list of like the plan that we need to build, and then taking the time to actually do that. But you do a thing called, crud, now I can't think of it, street to seat, but then you also do get off the bus. What do you call it?
Oh, yeah. So
I just lost it.
No, yeah. Get on the bus.
Get on the bus. Get on the bus.
So it's like the idea I used to do as a youth pastor when we would get ready to take kids to youth camp.
Yeah, there it is.
And so I would tell all of our team, let's pretend like we're on the bus driving to camp.
Right.
And we would literally walk through like, here's where the luggage is, and here's where they get their cabin key and like all the pieces. And so we do that on a Sunday for street to seat. So for our impressions team. So like if a first time guest shows up at Living Church, let's pretend like we're driving down 287, right? And then the freeway near us. And like, what's their experience? What banner do they see? What signs do they see? Do they see a parking person? They come in. What parking lot do they go to? Do they hear music when they get out of their car?
Right.
Yeah, we walk through all the way from like the dismissal.
Right. Yeah. I love it because I think so often when we're trying to take steps into more, we can go, well, I don't know how to plan it. I've never done it before, or I've never seen it before. And what I love is that with that tool that you've given all of us, there's a visual descriptor of, okay, I know what my goal is. So in that scenario, our goal is that a first-time guest would have a great experience and want to come back.
Yeah.
And so maybe in people's jobs in their organizations, maybe even moms at home. What do you want the tenor of your home to be? What do you want dinner to look like? Building a plan when you know what your end result is, and then visually walking through what it would look like. That's how you build the plan. Yeah. I think it can get overwhelming to be like, I don't know how to build a plan if you've never done it before. But this is an easy tool that you've given our team, and I've watched some people who are new to planning learn and grow in it, because it's easy that way to go, oh yeah, let me visually put myself there, make a plan.
Something my dad used to tell me is maturity is being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes.
Yeah.
And so what we do as the church, we put ourselves in the shoes of a tender.
Right.
And then we're able to walk through that.
Yeah, I just think that's a great tool for people. Okay, how am I building my plan? This is how. And it's super good. And so then you said prepare.
Yeah.
Because when you're walking through the plan, you realize what you need. So you said that we had the kids sign the floor. Yeah. Well, in order to sign the floor, what do they need?
We had to go get some Sharpies.
Right.
Yeah.
And we knew we had Sharpies. So you're like, hey, have we sought out the Sharpies?
Right.
Did we know where they're at? And we got a plan. Go.
You know, the reason people go over budget is because they start
100%.
to prepare before they fully planned.
Right.
And then they find themselves at the store, filling their cart up, or on Amazon, like clickety click, click, clack.
Right.
And they go way over budget.
Right.
Preparing because they didn't
plan.
They didn't plan. Now, Whitney and I have never bought too much of anything.
No, this has never happened.
We always perfectly plan. And so then our preparation is flawless.
Oh, perfect.
We have never bought too many red mugs for Mother's Day.
Or too many t-shirts to give away, or too many
cupcakes to pass out.
Never.
We have never had too many gummy sharks in Slurpees. We've never done that.
Never had too many paletas in the freezer for a year. Because we got too many. Oh, but man.
Okay, obviously we're joking. We buy too much stuff regularly.
Yeah.
Now, I'm nervous because Living Church people are watching this and they're like, man, why are you wasting all my money? Listen, we repurpose it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Teenagers be eating Sunday cupcakes on Wednesdays constantly.
They don't know.
They don't know.
But it's... we've learned over the years that, our planning and our preparation have to go hand in hand, but in the right order, because otherwise, And then part of it is because we shoot for the moon, because why would we? What do you say?
I don't remember. I think I only said it once, and then we always laugh about it.
Yeah, shoot for the moon. Otherwise,
shoot for the moon and then land there.
Oh yeah,
stupid. You can't land on a star.
Why do I want to be on a star? It's too small. That's what you always say. Yes.
You've got it now. Us.
Yeah.
We would rather go. In our planning,
right.
We would rather go over than under.
Right.
I would much rather have too many mugs to pass out on Mother's Day than not enough.
Well, because in our organization, right, if we're not prepared for the amount of people that come and we undershoot, then we don't have enough volunteers, we don't have enough kids workers. So
it's better for us. It's better to over plan. That's part of the plan.
Yeah.
And then we're just laughing because sometimes we like drastically over plan. Part of it, the red mug story is it was Mother's Day at the very beginning of COVID. And so everybody was first on quarantine. And so we were going to do a big outdoor service on our 36 acres, semi-trailer with a band and big speakers and generators. And we bought these mugs that said Quarantine Queen.
Yes.
And I was like, this is the greatest idea. This is going to go viral. We're going to be selling these on Etsy tomorrow for $100. Didn't happen. And then our attendance.
Well, didn't it get canceled?
I don't. Oh, maybe it rained and we had to do it the next week.
I can't remember.
But we had like hundreds of these red mugs that said Quarantine Queen. And so we just started giving them out at all kind of junk. Yeah. Like any event.
People love them though.
Yeah,
so now that we don't have them anymore, the amount of times that I get a message from somebody like, hey, do you have any more of those Quarantine Queen mugs? And I'm like, no, we got rid of them all.
You were a year and a half too late.
You're too late. Sorry.
Okay. Plan.
Yes.
Prepare. Anything else in prepare?
Oh, so much in prepare. Is that like something we talked to our team about is reverse engineering.
Love
that
this.
You have to go backwards and kind of go, okay, so for our creative guys, for example, Easton and Bailey have to not only know when things are going to happen, like this podcast. If it's supposed to go out on Tuesday, that means we have to record it before Tuesday, right? Like you have to go back and go, okay, if I'm having an event on this day.
Wait, this event isn't live?
Oh, no. But one day we'll do a live one. But
if you want us to do a live Tug of War event.
An event.
Comment before and give us some ideas. But remember, they're garbage. Your ideas are great. It's what we do with them.
Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah. We're just teasing. No, I think that so you have to.
That hurt my heart. I didn't really mean it. I love your ideas.
Yes, you're the best. And so we have to like go backward and say, okay, well, when do I have to order this? If we need shirts for an event, well, that means that they take 2 weeks of production time. You know, in the very beginning of Living Church, we paid a rush fee every time we ordered things because we would order it too late. And then we decided we're not doing that anymore. We're going to make sure. And so when you prepare, it's not just, oh, I need to go to the store that one day to buy the things. No, how soon do I need to order things? When do I need to call the volunteers? When do I need to have a meeting ahead of time to prepare for this thing?
Yeah, and what you're talking about is a timeline.
Yeah, there's so much that goes into preparation. And I think a lot of people's ideas die on the fact that they did not actually prepare. Because
you can have the best idea in the world.
And but even a great plan.
But if you don't have time to pull it off, to prepare.
Right.
It's not going to be done.
No, I mean, even in our context, if you're giving a sermon, but you didn't prepare the sermon until an hour before you give it, like, it's not going to be good. There's a saw happening outside.
No, it sounds like a monkey or something got let loose. Yeah, it's like a screaming baby in here.
Yeah, but there it is.
There it was.
Maybe it's Jurassic Park. The dinosaurs. I don't know. It sounds crazy, but it's a saw. They're sawing.
My son wants to watch Jurassic Park so bad.
You got to make a plan and prepare his heart.
I don't think he's ready.
He's going to be afraid.
Yeah, he's afraid. Titus, he gets nervous about all kinds of stuff.
Because he didn't hurt. Like
okay. Plan. Prepare.
Yep. And then perform. Show the junk up.
Do it.
Get it done.
Push it.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
Why are you going to stop? What?
We had a fun little cadence.
Yeah, I thought you were going to keep going, but you started laughing instead. No, we gotta get it done. I think that as leaders, our most biggest frustration with employees in the past has been those who come up with all the dreams and all of that, and then when it comes to the time to perform, they don't do it.
It just never materializes.
Right.
And so if you find yourself in your context not able to materialize, listen, go back to step one.
Right.
If you're just like, if you want to get in shape, you got to have a plan. How are you going to do it? Then you got to prepare. You got to buy the food and get a scale and get a gym membership and make sure you got shoes you can walk in. You got to prepare. But then
you got to go.
You got to pull that. You got to pull that junk off. You got to perform. And the performance is like where the rubber hits the road.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the reason that everybody loves Michael Jordan, because he can hit the shot when the buzzer's going down. And so sometimes it's just like throwing yourself out there and going for it.
Absolutely. I think that sometimes we don't do it because we don't think it's ready. And so that verse that you gave is perfect to understand. Just go get it done. Try it. One thing we say all the time is that ministry is an experiment. And so like if we try it and it didn't work, we're going to change it and do it again. But better that we've tried 3 things and found a better solution along the way than to have never tried any of the things to be about to do in 2 years later and look back and be like, man, we still haven't done that thing we said we were going to do. You know?
Plan, prepare, perform.
Yeah.
You gotta ask yourself, what do you want to accomplish? Like as we're tugging into more, the danger of it is that sometimes we make it so vague. Like more is so elusive. There's not an end line of more. But what we have to do is we have to set reasonable goals like along the way. So it's not just that you're going to make $1 billion in sales. Like, okay, fantastic. But like, you've never made $100,000 in sales. Maybe we need to set 50 as the goal. What are you even selling?
Like, yeah.
And so there has to be a reasonable goal.
Tangible, reasonable,
and
actual.
It's towards that goal that you're planning and preparing and performing for, not just more. And I think that sometimes I'll talk with leaders or pastors. They're like, I'm going to reach my whole city. Cool. You're going to reach your whole city. That's great. That's what the Great Commission is. That's what Jesus wants. But like, what's your next step goal? Because like for us, I want to reach our whole city, but our auditorium only sees 1,200 people. And so like, how am I going to functionally do that? Well, I got to have this many services and this. You got to, how do you eat elephant? One bite at a time. So like, what's the next bite?
Yeah, I love it. No, I think that's such a good, it's a good understanding of like, okay, you want you've got all these ideas. Well, let's pull them into like some reality and actually reframe it and go, where am I going with it? What is it going to look like? I love it.
If you're a big dreamer, right, and you just find yourself always dreaming, maybe there's a time to really wrestle with yourself and say, okay, I'm going to stop fantasizing about what maybe it could be.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to pick one thing.
Yeah.
My wife, I don't know if it's like a Spanish saying, but she says this about people that are kind of dreamers. She says they're building castles in the sky.
Yeah.
And it's like, sometimes that's what we do. We build these castles in the sky that's like just these imaginations of what we're going to do.
Yeah.
You know how many guys I've talked to that they're like, I'm going to be the next Zuckerberg. Like, dude, you were playing video games last night till 2 a.m. and you got Dorito stuff on your shirt. Like, you're not, no, you're not.
Right.
Like, maybe we stop building castles in the sky and we just build like a 1-bedroom house on Earth.
Right.
And that's the next step.
No, I love it. Something you do that I think is wise that we can do is set timeline goals, set like performance goals, even just in our calendar. Like our phones are so helpful to things like that in this day, where you'll say like this many days, we have an event coming up that just last week we met and you said, hey, we just need to identify that this is coming. We have some goals to get there. And so if we'll identify that we have this many days out, then we'll kind of have some plans along the way that we can make sure, are we hitting the mark? Yeah. And I think that if somebody's struggling and they're like, oh man, I've been dreaming about something for this many years, but I haven't taken the next right step. Well, set a timeline goal of when you will get that next step done, and then make yourself do it.
Yes.
Actually do it.
Yeah.
If you don't, then ask yourself why. Are you insecure? Are you afraid? Are you not, are you not prepared? Have you not really planned? Like, what is the reason why you haven't got it done?
No, it's really good.
So you can help yourself get there.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I've got an app in my phone that I've used for a long time.
Yeah.
But the app just like died. The app,
it did?
Yeah, the app like shut off. And so there's a new one called Countdown. So I use this app called
I didn't
Countdown.
know your app was gone.
It was called, I don't remember what it was called, but I've had it for years. And so Countdown now I use. And so like right now I know an event that I'm speaking at.
Yeah.
And I just looked at it and I've got the date in there and it's 43 days away.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, that's getting kind of close.
Yeah.
I know when Easter is 100 days out.
Right.
And so when you have these like mile marker things, it helps us keep in perspective of like, time is our most valuable resource.
Right. Yeah. It's the asset that we can't get back, but man, we can super utilize if we'll just get junk done. For us, like, yeah, we run hard and we go into the next thing, but we've been able to really get some junk done because we had that tug, that drive.
Ideas, they aren't garbage, but your ideas need to just live on a piece of paper.
Well, your ideas in comparison to your execution is what can become garbage.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a number of notes in my phone and on my laptop that are only ideas.
Yeah.
So I have sermon series, I have sermons, I have like future next steps, I have like discipleship lists.
We have 100 podcast idea lists. Like
literally, I have one called Tug of More, and I'm like, okay, what do we want to talk about?
Yeah.
And so I have a place that I can get those ideas out.
Right.
Because if you don't get them out, then they just kind of pinball around in your head.
Right.
And then you just spend your whole life thinking of ideas.
Yeah. And I mean, for our team, we spend time dreaming together and like coming up with ideas together. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that then from that, we have to take it and actually get some stuff done. Something we've done even that's helped us, in leading is at the end of those kind of meetings is assigning who's doing what, who's getting the things done from those ideas and dreams that we just came out of. Maybe you have departments in your job, and so obviously those people lead those things. So sometimes you're doing a project together. Okay, who's doing what? You know, those school projects. I imagine that I was the girl in the school project.
I'm still doing a school project.
Right now.
With Whitney.
Oh my God.
What do you think Living Church is?
Yes.
This
So
I have found the best partner for the school project. I am the gopher and the presenter. This is my job. And she is the, I don't know, all the other things.
See, I just remember showing up for group projects, and there would be like one person in the group who was supposed to bring like this very important piece of it, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, no, I didn't." I'd be like, "What? You didn't bring it?" And like,
I loved group projects as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I would just like
You'd be like,
you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. And then I'm just going to get up and
I'll tell about it. And so I think that's we have to learn to help identify in our groups, even like who needs to show up. And
which is really smart. It's really smart what you're saying, because that's what execution is.
Yeah.
Execution is not only like getting it done, but who's doing it
and who's the right seat on the bus. Something now we're working on is that there are some people on our team who are phenomenal,
right? Yeah.
Incredible leaders, but we're realizing, they should be a different seat on the bus. And that's a great thing because they're able to execute better and more. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at the state of Living Church. Like a lot of churches, they have seats on buses. They got a seat on a bus. Do you know what we have? It's like we pulled all the seats out of the bus and then we put like an above ground rectangle pool in the back of the bus, and we're all in the pool, and it's just sloshing around, and it's just craziness. This is how it feels right now.
Well, it's like little, I imagine like little bungee cords though that you can like hold on to.
Yeah.
Like, here, you hold this one. Okay, wait, now I'll swap. And then you take that one and you go, no, we're not
Some churches have very strong lines. This is your seat. Do not move.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, over here, we're like backstroking all through the bus in a water. And
they're like, here, you catch. Okay, you got it. All right, you're going with it. No, it's true. You're laughing, but it's right. And
but I would much rather ride in a bus that's full of water. That's a party.
No, and we've recognized, you're right. Water bus. We've recognized though that there are other people who are more efficient in certain things, and like, why are we going to hold it all tightly? What is your laughing? But it's true, right?
Yeah, I'm just envisioning it in my head.
Yes, and so I think that we have to recognize in areas sometimes we have been trying to get something done that we should not be the one getting done, that we should pass it. What you're teasing about with me, like you and I both know, hey, I'm going to give you this, you're better at this than me, vice versa.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. And it's made it more efficient, whereas before it's like, it's my idea, so I will execute it. Well, that's silly.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people fail, is that they're unwilling to put people around them that will help them execute what their ideas are.
Yeah, that's great. I have another thought.
Okay.
There's some people that are out there that aren't creative at all.
That's true.
There's some people that are really good executors.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Right.
But they only know how to do it how they've seen. And so what would you tell somebody who feels the tug of war, they want to do something, but they don't have any new ideas?
Right.
They hear us say ideas are garbage, and they're like, yeah, right. I
didn't pay for an idea. Right.
What do they do?
Man, all the things. One of the words we talk about a lot is exposure.
Yeah.
So exposing yourself to other places and other people, but then building a team around you of people who are gifted. That's the whole point, is what you're great at as a leader is not saying, I'm gifted too, and you let me be gifted. But it's true. Yeah. You let me be who I am. You let me flourish 100% without squashing anything in me, because you're not trying to be insecure. You're trying to say, this is what we're building.
Right. Yeah.
So let's all come together. So that's why we have Bailey and Easton, who are way more creative. They make us look way better than we even look in real life on this pod. Like, they come up with great ideas that are brilliant, and we're not afraid to say, hey, y'all run with that. And so
yeah, if you're struggling for ideas, find an idea person.
Right.
And take them to coffee. Take them to you don't have to hire them.
Right. Whether they're on your team or whether they're just somebody in life, man, people with ideas love giving ideas. That's the thing about us. Like, you take us to coffee, we're going to give you 16 ideas of what to do.
Yeah. My wife is the best. Yes. And as our kids have gotten older,
it's like,
she didn't know what to, she was having a hard time feeding our kids.
Right.
Not but
creatively coming up with new ideas.
So you know what she did?
Things.
She texted 10 moms.
Yeah.
And she said, hey, tell me your go-to meals.
Right.
And so you know what she did? She went out and found some ideas.
Yeah.
So if you're not an idea person, ideas are out there.
Right. But we can't be afraid. That's the other piece. So you've done youth ministry for years and years and years. But in this last season, you've been like, hey guys, these younger people, this new generation, what does it look like for you? What are the ideas that teenagers, instead of just doing and regurgitating what you did only 10 to 15 years ago in youth ministry.
Yeah.
But instead, what would y'all think is a good idea? And I think that there's a bunch of reasons why sometimes people don't put people around them. Insecurity, fear, anxiety, all the things. But you should. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
It's only going to make you better.
And listen, because ideas that used to work might not work anymore.
Right.
I was like the king of car smash.
Right.
In student ministry.
Right.
I bet I have ran and led 100 car smashes.
Probably.
But now, would teenagers like doing a car? No, I don't think they're all like they're oh, my fingers hurt. I don't know.
Right.
I don't like.
No, remember
they're not down with like they're looking at me like they're gonna be mad. I'm saying some students, yes, always are gonna want to smash a car, but I don't think that it would be like a big attractional draw.
Right.
We can't like make a postcard that says car smash and an extra 200 kids show up.
No, not at all.
But back in 2002,
yeah.
They didn't have a video to watch. They were like, what?
Let's do it. No, it's true. And so don't be afraid to put great people around you who are going to execute things, but then don't be afraid to put great people around you who have great ideas.
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand.
And if you're not a good executor, you got to get one.
Yeah.
Because if you're not a good idea person, get an idea person around you.
Right.
If you're not a good executor, you've got to get a good executor. Now, the hard thing about finding an executor, if you're not one, is that means you have to give away responsibility.
Right.
You have to give away control.
Right.
And if you're a leader who's not a natural executor, you got to really wrestle with that.
Yeah. And even if you are like,
I don't even know what the answer is.
No, it's your own issue that you're never going to be. You're going to hit the lid. You're never going to be able to grow past those things. And so we have to get people around us that can help us execute things. And then even as executors, as things grow, we have to still be willing to give away to other executors.
Boom.
Because otherwise, we won't grow beyond the capacity we personally alone have.
Ideas, stop it. Start executing.
Yeah. Love it.
It's 2022. You got to dream on.
That's right.
You got to dream on.
Sing it, bro.
No, I'm not gonna sing it.
Why? You did a great job.
They can go listen to our Living
Service.
Church. Are we posting it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got a no and a yes.
No, yeah.
Dude, so good. So excited to be back with you guys in our makeshift studio.
That's right.
If you ever have any questions, reach out to us. Would love to know what's going on in your life.
We're working on exciting new podcast location, and it's gonna look great and it's fun. So
we'll come in with a whole new fresh energy and we won't be completely mentally distracted by saws and crying children outside of our building
and dinosaurs. Yeah.
Love y'all.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.